For weeks, a single ATM quietly dispensed cash it never checked, and one man walked away with over $1 million before the bank reacted. This is the story of a machine that forgot to ask permission. Dan Saunders was 29, bartending in Wangaratta, a small town 3 hours northeast of Melbourne. His account balance was $17. On May 3, 2011, at 1:47 a.m., he approached a National Australia Bank ATM after his shift ended. He needed $40 for the weekend. The machine hesitated. The screen flickered. Then it dispensed the cash anyway. His receipt showed a balance of negative $23. The transaction had gone through despite insufficient funds. Most people would assume the bank would catch this by morning. Dan Saunders tested that assumption. The next evening, he returned. This time, he requested $200. The machine complied without question. To understand what happened next, you need to know how ATMs actually work. During business hours, every ATM transaction connects directly to the bank's central system. The machine asks, "Does this account have enough money?" The system responds instantly, yes or no. But at night, when network traffic is heavy and systems undergo maintenance, ATMs switch to offline mode. In offline mode, the ATM makes decisions locally. It checks its internal memory for your recent transaction history and makes an educated guess about your balance. The system assumes you're trustworthy. It assumes you wouldn't try to withdraw money you don't have. It assumes wrong. Dan Saunders had discovered something the bank never intended, a window of trust that opened every night at midnight. Night after night he returned, the amounts grew larger. The ATM's offline memory only stored recent transactions. After a few days, it forgot about the earlier withdrawals entirely. From the machine's perspective, Dan Saunders looked like a customer with a healthy account balance. The receipts told a different story. His account balance plunged deeper into negative territory with each transaction. But receipts don't stop ATMs. Only the central system can do that. And the central system was asleep. Every morning, the ATM would reconnect to the central system and upload its overnight transactions. The system would process them as legitimate withdrawals. No flags, no alerts, no questions. The machine never asked the most important question: should this person have access to unlimited money? Dan Saunders wasn't hacking the system. He was using it exactly as designed, just at the wrong time. For 4.5 months, this continued. The ATM became his personal cash dispenser. He withdrew money in Wangaratta. He traveled to other towns, testing other NAB ATMs. They all behaved the same way. The system's trust was universal. Every NAB ATM operated under the same offline protocols. By September, Dan Saunders had withdrawn over $1.6 million from his $17 account. The bank's system showed his account balance as negative $1.6 million, but the systems also showed every withdrawal as legitimate and approved. The contradiction lived quietly in NAB's databases for months. Then someone finally looked at the numbers. On September 20th, 2011, a routine audit flagged Dan Saunders' account for manual review. The fraud team assumed it was a data entry error. Accounts don't go $1.6 million negative without triggering alerts. They pulled the ATM logs. Every withdrawal was there, time-stamped and approved. They pulled the security footage, the same person night after night using the same card. They froze the account immediately, but the cash was already gone. Dan Saunders had spent most of the money. Expensive cars, luxury travel, high-end electronics, the lifestyle of someone who believed the money was legitimately his. From his perspective, the bank had been approving every transaction for months. The ATM gave him receipts. The system never said no. NAB faced an impossible situation. Their own systems had authorized every withdrawal. Their own ATM had dispensed the cash willingly. The bank could prove Dan Saunders had taken money he didn't have, but they couldn't prove their own system hadn't given it to him legitimately. The ATM didn't make a mistake. It followed instructions. Those instructions just happened to create a window where trust replaced verification. Dan Saunders was arrested and charged with theft. He argued he had simply used the bank's own system as it was presented to him. The case dragged through courts for years. NAB wanted their money back. Dan Saunders claimed he had acted in good faith with a system that kept saying yes. In 2014, he was sentenced to 12 months in prison, suspended. He was ordered to repay the money he still had access to. But most of the $1.6 million was gone forever. NAB updated their ATM software. Offline mode now has stricter limits. The window of unlimited trust was closed. But the fundamental question remains unanswered. When a system approves something, who decides if that approval was legitimate? When a machine says yes for months, does that make the answer correct? Dan Saunders found a system that trusted first and verified later. He used that trust until it ran out. The cash came out clean, the system approved it, and only later did the bank decide it was never supposed to happen.